On August 18, 2022, in Bozeman, Montana, a man walked into a family-owned ranch after being missing for nearly 20 years. His parents had declared him legally dead. His younger brother had inherited everything. But within 6 weeks of his return, one of them would be found buried behind the barn. And the truth would reveal that someone had been preparing for this reunion long before it ever happened. The missing son was named Caleb Turner. He disappeared in 2002 at age 19. No note, no signs of struggle. His truck was found abandoned near a state highway outside Bozeman. The case went cold within a year. The Turners were known in Gallatin County as hard-working ranchers, traditional, reserved, loyal to each other. After Caleb's disappearance, the family fractured quietly. His father, Richard Turner, aged rapidly. His mother stopped attending church. His younger brother, Nathan Turner, stepped into the ranch operations at just 17. Nathan grew into the role, disciplined, structured, protective of the land. By 2015, Caleb was declared legally deceased. Ownership of the ranch passed fully to Nathan. Life moved forward. Or at least, it looked that way. On August 18, 2022, a thin, bearded man drove up the gravel road toward the Turner ranch house. Security footage shows him stepping out slowly. Nathan opened the door and froze. DNA later confirmed the man was Caleb, alive, 40 years old. He claimed he left voluntarily in 2002, said he needed freedom, said he felt suffocated. He traveled under different names, worked seasonal jobs, stayed disconnected. He returned because, in his words, "I wanted to see if anyone remembered me." Richard, now frail and ill, wept when he saw him. Nathan did not. Legally, things became complicated. Caleb's declaration of death could be reversed, which meant property ownership would revert to joint inheritance. The ranch Nathan spent 2 decades building would no longer be solely his. Caleb insisted he didn't want conflict. He just wanted what was fair. Fairness is complicated when time is involved. In the weeks following Caleb's return, tension thickened across the ranch. Neighbors reported heated conversations near the barn late at night. Caleb requested access to financial records. Nathan resisted. Caleb asked about land sales. Nathan changed the subject. Then came something unexpected. A forensic accountant reviewing ranch documents noticed irregular transactions dating back to 2003, the year after Caleb disappeared. Large insurance payouts, government agricultural subsidies, all processed under Nathan's management. Legally valid, but strategically timed. If Caleb was legally dead, certain financial opportunities opened. If Caleb was alive, those arrangements could be challenged. Richard Turner died peacefully on September 12, 2022. The funeral was quiet, but beneath the grief, something darker moved. On October 3rd, Caleb failed to show up for a scheduled legal consultation in Bozeman. His phone went offline. His truck was found parked near the property line. Search efforts began immediately. 3 weeks later, cadaver dogs alerted behind the old equipment shed near the barn. Excavation revealed human remains. Dental records confirmed it was Caleb. Cause of death? Gunshot wound. Estimated time of death? Within 72 hours of his disappearance. Nathan reported the gun missing days earlier, claimed it was stolen. Ballistics matched the weapon to the fatal bullet. Nathan maintained innocence. He claimed Caleb had enemies from his time away. But investigators uncovered something devastating. In 2002, the original investigation into Caleb's disappearance was minimal. No deep forensic review, no extended search. Because Nathan was the last person to see him that night. That detail had been overlooked for years. When detectives reopened the 2002 file, they found something subtle. Nathan had reported hearing Caleb argue with their father about leaving, but Richard had denied any argument. Nathan's early statements contained inconsistencies about timeline. Nothing concrete, but enough to question. Behavioral analysts examined the pattern. In 2002, Nathan was 17, second son, overshadowed by older brother. Caleb was charismatic, favored socially, less disciplined, but still the heir apparent. If Caleb disappeared, Nathan's role expanded. Responsibility became ownership. Over time, that ownership became identity. When Caleb returned in 2022, it wasn't just about property. It was about erasing 20 years of validation. Nathan wasn't protecting money. He was protecting the life he built in Caleb's absence. For some, identity loss feels worse than prison. Investigators theorized something chilling. Nathan may have been involved in Caleb's disappearance in 2002. Perhaps an argument escalated. Perhaps something accidental happened. Caleb fled out of fear. But when Caleb returned, with potential legal consequences, Nathan faced exposure. This time, he ensured there would be no return. Soil samples from Nathan's boots matched the burial site. Gunshot residue was detected in his truck's interior. Cell phone tower data placed him near the barn at the estimated time of death. Most damning was a handwritten note recovered from Nathan's office drawer. Dated August 20th, 2 days after Caleb's return. It read, "Some ghosts shouldn't come back." Nathan claimed it was metaphorical. The jury disagreed. The prosecution painted a long psychological arc. A younger brother who lived 20 years under the shadow of absence, built status from tragedy, then faced the collapse of identity when that tragedy reversed. Defense attorneys argued lack of direct witnesses, but motive, timeline, and forensics converged. After 12 hours of deliberation, the verdict was delivered: guilty of first-degree murder. During sentencing, the judge addressed Nathan directly. "You had 20 years to build something honest. Instead, you chose to protect it with violence." At the ranch, the barn still stands, but ownership now rests with a land trust as ordered by the court. The Turner name no longer defines it. Sometimes karma doesn't rush. It waits decades. It allows someone to believe they've rewritten history. Then it returns, not as a ghost, but as consequence. Nathan feared losing the ranch. In the end, he lost everything. Because the truth always comes back, even after 20 years. If this case made you think about how identity and inheritance can twist into something darker, subscribe to The Hidden Truth. Because sometimes the past doesn't stay buried, it waits.